Sinead Barrow.
Sinead. Sinead. I'll make you some lemonade.
That was really good.
What the fuck?
Hi guys, I'm Jess. I'm Sinead.
I'm Adam.
I'm Cassie.
And we're
The Movie Rats. The show where a bunch of crackhead film students talk about films.
Warning, this podcast contains goblins, ghouls, and
The rock and roll.
Welcome to the Movie Rats. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of the Movie Rats. I'm here with ya girls, Jess, Sinead, and Kate.
Wow, that felt like a smooth radio host.
Right? No, I feel... Oh, thank you. You're so professional. Oh my god. Anyway, so, all right. We have a really good episode for you guys today. Some fun topics to talk about. It's probably going to be a pretty long one, but don't worry. It'll be some solid discussion. Oh my god, you can't see anything through my glasses. They are reflecting the shit out of my screen.
Imagine being blind, guys.
Anyway, so I'll just take them off. It's fine. I'll just be half blind the entire episode. I'm honestly not that blind. Today we have a fun topic of discussion for everyone. We're talking about yes, we do. So we're talking about a TV show today. We're switching gears yet again. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we have a trend of doing we're gonna do each of these categories and all that.
Listeners listen,
what?
But
oh yeah,
pre-planned these
I don't know if
episodes.
the listeners listen to the podcast, but if you listen, anyway.
It's almost as if we.
Why is
plan
that so
ahead.
passive aggressive,
Okay.
guys?
So anyway,
Listen.
so today we're doing a TV show. Unlike last season where we more did because last season we did more of a what our favorite ones were and just kind of an overview of why they were our favorites and what about them made them good shows and all that. But this season, this episode today, we are going to be discussing one specific series and actually talking about the specifics of its production and story. So we'll basically kind of have the same structure as our movie reviews, just talking about something that takes a lot longer to watch,
Mm-hmm. And it is Hell's Kitchen.
Oh god, imagine. Anyway, so today
I'm Nino.
So today we're going to be discussing the lovely, the beautiful, the award-winning Schitt's Creek.
BoJack Horse. Oh.
What?
We're not talking about BoJack. Let me just.
Shut the fuck. I was literally, I'm not even kidding, Kate. I was just wait, oh my god, did you look at the wrong one? Anyway.
We're having flashbacks to the Ouija experiment. Never forget last
All right.
week.
Oh, good times. So we're going to be talking about Schitt's Creek today.
Woo.
We're going to be kind of just going through it. So I'll just go ahead and start in with some of my fun facts.
Fun facts.
Shall we?
Let's do with some fun facts.
Shall we? Okay.
Cool.
So some little stats about it. It was created by Dan Levy. He wrote and produced it with his dad, Eugene Levy.
Oh, Big Brown Kings.
Eugene Levy being, I think, probably most famously, at least for our generation, most famously known.
Cheaper by the dozen too.
My generation. What?
Cheaper by the dozen too.
No, I was gonna say.
Anything else he's in. What?
I was gonna say American Pie. What is wrong?
He's in that.
Cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah, for my generation, fine. Okay, y'all's generation, Cheaper by the Dozen. My generation, American Pie.
Cheaper by the dozen too.
He's also actually throwback to what's it called? Throwback to 2 episodes ago when we were talking about Tom Hanks. He's in Splash.
Oh.
He's the doctor that tries to get her tries to prove that she's a mermaid and then changes his mind when they find out they're gonna dissect her or whatever.
You know what else he's in? We're talking about the dad, right? No.
Yep.
Yeah. He's in. Me and Jess found out recently. National Lampoons.
He is in
He
National
sells him the dodgy car that they go to Wally
at the
World
very
in.
start.
Oh my god.
So anyway, But yeah, so Dan Levy and Eugene Levy were the two main producers on the show. They had quite a bunch of other people that were involved in it as well. But I think it was by like the 5th or 6th season that Dan Levy became like sole showrunner. So anyway, Dan Levy has given quite a few interviews on like how he decided like on writing it and what his inspiration was. But basically the general question that started the whole premise was what he was watching a lot of reality TV at the time, and his question to himself was like, what would happen to all of these like famous rich celebrities if they lost everything, like all the wealth, all the everything was gone? What would they do? So that was how it was birthed into the world. Some other yes. Do you appreciate my really like super like not gross at all terminology?
It's the way you said it, birthed.
It was birthed into the world. Anyway. Okay.
I like that.
So some more fun facts. So Annie Murphy, the girl who plays Alexis,
Queen.
she was apparently about to give up on acting. She hadn't been working. She hadn't gotten like a solid job for about 2 years. And she was literally about to just give up on acting and like, try something else when she was
like
called
the
in
stripper
for.
from that one other episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the Austin Powers episode.
Austin Powers.
So she wasn't a stripper. She was about to do porn. That's what it was.
Oopsie.
Anyway, so but yeah, so Annie Murphy was about to give up on acting, but then she ended up doing an audition for Alexis, and she got the role. So kudos to her because she's fucking amazing as Alexis.
She's a little bit Alexis. La la la.
So this is one fact that I found quite delightful. So Emily Hampshire, the girl who plays Stevie, first of all, I think she had auditioned for Alexis to begin with. But the fact that I found interesting was that she suffers from extreme anxiety, and like she had a really difficult time going into the interview. Like she was really like nervous the entire time. But Dan found her very charming, and she ended up getting the role. And I feel like the fact that she does like have
It
like
character.
it really does, because Stevie herself is quite a like slightly awkward uncomfortable character. Another fun fact about Annie Murphy: she wrote A Little Bit Alexis herself. Like they were just like, here's the music, write a
And
little
where's
bit
her
Alexis.
Grammy? Where is it?
I'd like a
The
Grammy.
Tony, the Grammy,
So,
the Golden Globe for Best Original Song for.
right.
So show what?
I know.
Huh?
That honestly,
She's gonna EGOT off that one.
slaying it.
An EGOT. She's gonna get an EGOT.
My last fun fact is that basically, so what happened at the Emmys? I'm sure everyone knows this, but they
One
they
big
basically
time,
swept
Yeah.
the 2020 Emmys. So they received 19 nominations, which is record breaking for a comedy series. 15 of those nominations, I believe, was for this last year's Emmys. And I think how many did they win? They won 9 in total.
That's a lot.
So, but yeah, as of 2020, it holds the record for the most Emmys win in a single season for a comedy series. It is also the first television series to sweep the Primetime Emmys Awards in all major acting categories in a single year, which has never happened before for a comedy drama.
Comedy drama.
But yeah, also additionally, it's the only show to win Emmys in all 4 acting categories. So Best Actor, Best
Oh,
Actress,
well
Best Supporting
done.
Actor, and Best Supporting Actress. So, but yeah, those are my fun facts. So I
I have
just hop
one,
on
but
into,
we will
oh,
save it for later. No, I want to talk about it when we get there.
later.
Okay.
Because we will get there.
So we'll just hop into
It's just
discussion some of like the story, its narrative and everything. So this is quite a larger arc, obviously, than a traditional film, because it is 6 seasons, and it has a significant amount of episodes in each season. It is quite I'd say it is one of the shorter ones though, because like
Yeah.
a lot of TV shows, especially comedy, like sitcoms and stuff, aside from the amount of seasons they have, each season tends to have like up to like 24 episodes, like at the most, somewhere around like 20 to 22. And like this one only has, I think, probably like averaging like 13 episodes per season. And I think each episode, what is each episode, like 40 minutes long or so?
Yes.
But But yeah, I one of the things that I want to commend Dan Levy for is that a lot of people, I think he could have gone longer than 6 seasons if he wanted to. A lot, like, you know, it had really, really gained a huge following by like now, which is because this was the last year, 2020, to premiere a season. And I think like it was a good decision to end it. Because as much as I love, because as much as I love the series, and as much as I would definitely keep watching, and I'm sure it would be, you know, really funny and great if it kept going. I like that he recognized a solid ending point that was a very satisfying ending for everyone.
I feel like it's like the whole like you're either friends. It's always sitting here Schitt's Creek. It's like you go on for too long and everyone's fed up. It's always going to be funny, or just end it when you can.
Because the thing is the longer you go on,
or you live long,
or you
either die a hero, or you live
long enough to
become
see
the villain.
Yeah, you either die at Schitt's Creek or live long enough to become a friend.
Friends was
you know, things like Grey's Anatomy, which have gone on forever, and like I know that Grey's Anatomy is not a sitcom; it's more of a like it's a you know basically a soap opera essentially. But the thing is like the longer that you go on, the more characters you have to bring in to keep the story moving and keep it believable, because you don't like 10 years of like a show, you wouldn't have the same people and only them, you know, you have to introduce new people, and the more people you introduce, the more stories you have to like have to end up tying up if you're going to end it, otherwise you don't have a satisfied audience. And I think that 6 seasons was a really like solid way, like time to end Schitt's Creek, because like I think they could have gone on longer, but they didn't need to. It wasn't necessary. And I think he ended it in such a satisfying way. Like there wasn't really any like parts of the story where I was just like, oh, but like I wanted to see more of that, you know, like it was a very timely ending.
It was good.
Wholesome. In a little bowl.
It was pretty good.
I cried a little bit. We talk about that a little bit. We talk about the ending in a little bit.
So, I'll hop in with some of my points. So one of the biggest things that I think all of us, of course, will probably have a lot to say about is I really, really love how the LGBTQ plus community has been portrayed in this, because I actually
very good.
Well, because the thing is I read an article about, you know, a lot of people have commented on it, and the thing is like they gave small like redemption to small towns and the idea of what small towns represent and stuff, because you tend to think of, you know, small towns specifically in like Southern America, but really in all, you know, areas,
United States,
and not even just in the U.S., just small towns in
Ireland,
general.
Ireland.
They tend to be a little more closed-minded, maybe not closed-minded, but just more conservative, because they're small towns. Like they don't have like much, you know, perspective, because there's, you know, not a lot of there's not a lot of travel. There's not a lot of different types of people, different backgrounds and stuff. And so like I think what was great about it, and the article that I read, they were talking about how it's really fantastic that David is a pansexual character. And not only that, and not only does his family accept him, but it's not even just like his family accepts him. No one acknowledges it, because it's not viewed as something that's abnormal. Like everyone's just like, yeah, David. And like, slept with Stevie for a while and then is marrying a guy. Like no one's questioning it. No one's talking about it. It's not a topic. It's literally just that's the way he's living his life. And I love that because the thing is like I think a lot of the time when, you know, activists, like of course you have to bring up the conversation and all that. But a lot of the time I think what harms certain communities a lot of the time is talking about it in a way that makes it seem like out of the norm or something that, you know, you have to be constantly aware of. Because it's kind of like if you have a friend and they happen to be like queer in some way, that shouldn't be like the defining trait of your friend. It should like the defining trait of your
really in my group of gay friends.
But like, you know, the defining trait of your friend should be something that you value about them as like in your relationship and as a person and what makes them your friend. It shouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's my friend, he's gay. Or that's my friend, she's pansexual,
that's
whatever. Like it shouldn't, like it shouldn't be that. And that's the thing. That's what I really liked about it is that they really, I mean, they did a really good job of describing, like, or of portraying,
but even
David's queerness, but they didn't make it like a thing, you know?
Yeah, but you know the scene where like he brings like he's explaining to it was a Stevie.
I have that as a soundbite. Would everyone like to listen to it?
Yeah, that was really
yes, please.
A perfect example.
Sure.
Just to be clear, I'm a red wine drinker.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. I only drink red wine.
Okay.
And up until last night, I was under the impression that you too only drank red wine. But I guess I was wrong.
I see where you're going with this. I do drink red wine. But I also drink white wine.
Oh.
And I've been known to sample the occasional rosé. And a couple summers back, I tried a Merlot that used to be a Chardonnay, which got a bit complicated.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just really open to all wines.
I like the wine and not the label. Does that make sense?
I really like that.
That's so cute.
I like the
That's
wine
really
and not the
cute.
label. Well, because
That's a really
also
nice quote.
on that topic as
Get
well, like
tattooed on your chest.
what I think is awesome about it too is
Practice what
because
I
they
want,
they
okay.
fully established that Stevie is straight. As she says, like, I only drink red wine. But what I really like about it as well is that Stevie's not hyper femme.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like she wears a suit to his wedding in the end, like, you know, when she's his maid of honor. Like, it's I love that they
Queen.
portray Stevie as like not an insanely like, you know, feminine woman. Like, you know,
Woman.
someone who is embracing a lot of their androgyny can also just be like a regular
Like cis
straight
person.
woman. Yeah, like you don't have to be extremely feminine and like really girly and like, you know, all that to prove that you are a straight woman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that.
Very progressive.
Mhm.
True.
We like this.
On the topic of the LGBT though, so I by far my favorite scene with fucking David when
What's the thing?
David does the dance.
But there's also like the one that that Patrick sings to David at open mic night. But you're talking about the one where like they're in a fight and
Yeah,
David's
and
trying to
then,
make up
like,
for
David, like-
making the fight last longer because he was getting gifts and stuff, and he tries to make up for it by like
Yeah.
singing the
But,
song
like-
or dancing to the song for Patrick. Yeah.
That's so cute. But fun
Yeah.
fact about that, they filmed it like for some reason. I obviously like Dan was like super like nervous to film it, so Dan and Noah just drank a whole bottle of prosecco
I did
between
read
them
that.
two, and then Dan was like, "Okay, now I can do it because I'm not nervous anymore."
Oh, I think that's
Aw,
super
I love
cute.
that.
Shit faced.
Speaking
What a
of
babe.
Patrick, though, I also really love, yet again, speaking about the LGBTQ community, I love that they are telling the story of someone who's, like, kind of exploring and understanding and realizing their own sexuality. Because Patrick does start off as, like, assuming he's straight in the beginning and then being open to the feelings that he's developing for David. Like, the fact that they go on a date, and at the end of the date, he's just like, this is the first time for me entirely. And what's great about that is because of the fact that it's his first time, and yet he's still so like open and like he's very
It's
like
not the
opposed.
usual-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm straight. I would never do the
Not only that, but he's not
okay.
kind of like being like, you know, he's not questioning his feelings. Like he's
Yeah.
feeling them and he's just like, that's new. Let me see what that means. And like when David kisses him and stuff, and he's just like, I've never done this before. But what's really great about it, is the fact that like he's open to and embracing the feelings that are unfamiliar to him. And
Like it's a moment, but it's not one of those moments where it's like, I'm a straight dude and I'm gay.
Yeah, but- and
I'm
he's like-
feeling my emotion.
And I really liked that. And I like the fact that like, you know, it after that he's like, everyone's just fully accepting of the fact that
Yeah,
like
there's
Patrick
no,
is
like-
in love with a man. They don't ever say that like, you know, like no one's ever just like, oh, Patrick's gay now. Because he does come out to his parents as gay, but he never necessarily says that he's gay. He doesn't express to anyone personally that he is gay. So I think there's a couple of references to someone saying like, or like maybe like when David is saying like, oh, you haven't told your parents you're gay or something. But Patrick himself never refers to himself as gay. When he comes out to his parents, he says like, David is my partner, or like I'm dating David, like, but he never says that he's gay. So there's a full possibility that he could be bisexual as well because he
Like
was
bi.
engaged to a woman. But he also says, you know, that like that relationship never gave him what he needed and what he was looking for and all that, which could mean either that she just wasn't the right person or that he wasn't interested in women and he just didn't know what was going on there. So I think I really loved like Patrick's journey as well. I thought both Patrick and David, the way like, you know, the queer community is expressed through the two of them was really, really well done. And it was very tastefully done.
It was.
So moving on from that lovely topic, let's talk about a little bit of the like really specific like gags.
Wigs!
Moira's outfits!
Okay.
Oh.
Let's talk about Moira and
Wigs!
Let's talk about characters now. So,
I love it. We can never decide what we're gonna do on our own podcast.
So let's talk about characters now. So
Okay.
like we did mention wigs and outfits, so let's talk about Moira.
Moira.
Moira!
Do you know like those Jesus candles? Like I want more of Moira.
Oh,
Oh, you probably can get one.
I really
Etsy.
want.
Should we all go around and say our favorite Moira look? I think that should be something. Can I start? Do we all have one?
Sure.
Mine's is, I think it's season 2, where what is her position in like the town hall or something like that, and she's got that big ass black furry hat. That is a look.
No, that's my one.
Shit, it's okay. My favorite look of hers is when she's in the movie and she's covered in feathers and she's like, redemption! That's my second fave.
Mine is when she's like, the town that I am currently in.
The town that I am.
Actually,
Fun fact about that. Moira never says the words Schitt's Creek. And I think that's so funny because I don't know if this is true, but I think that was the point when they did the commercial for Schitt's Creek, was the fact that like she was about to say it like in the script she would normally say it. She's just like, and the town that I'm talking about is, and like
the town
and I think it was that they noticed that she had never said Schitt's Creek before, and so they wanted to kind of like make a nod to that and keep it going and be like, oh hey, see, she still won't say it, like, and so she's just like, the town that I am currently in.
Thing with Catherine O'Hara is like, I'm not saying that like her character is Moira, like it's not, but like she is like dedicated to fashion in the same way Moira is. Like I went to see like literally like I think it was like 2 months before the pandemic, or like a month before it. I went to see Nightmare Before Christmas in concert, and she was there, and she was amazing.
Cool.
But she was so cute because it was just a concert. No one got changed except for Danny Elfman at the end because he just had to make it about him. But like, I love him though. But no one else really like got changed. They just kind of went out in like fun, spooky clothes and stayed in them. But when because she plays the one of the trick-or-treaters and she plays Sally as well. When she's doing that, she had like her little witch hat on. She had like nice little black outfit on with these big ass heels that like no one can walk in except her.
Queen.
Then she left, and then when she came back out to sing the second song, she had like all stitches drawn on her and like eyeliner or something with like this like black and white patchwork dress. You could tell that she owned it though.
She's serving.
You could tell that she owned those dresses.
Well, and I love that like her character is like such a like casual character about it, like the fact that she's like crazy, but it's not like, you know, it's just her.
Like that.
Yeah, like her character isn't like, I'm crazy. It's like, she just happens to look like that.
Another aspect of Moira, of course, that we all know and love is like her accent. And I mean,
it's the way that she says the town that I currently. That's how
I
currently reside.
But I think what's funny about it is that, like, because she's given a lot of interviews about, like, you know, where the Moira accent is from. But what I thought was funny is that there are a couple of, like, interviews where they talked about, so, of course, the one word that just defines everything in Moira's accent is the way she pronounces the word baby. And what's funny is that, because apparently the way that kind of came about apparently was that she said one of the lines that had the word baby in it, and she just said it that way, like kind of as a joke, like she was kind of like, oh, I just saying it because like the accent, whatever, but like as a joke. She wasn't intending on that being like a thing. And then everyone just found it so freaking funny that she just, for the rest of the show, was like, she said it like that. Because actually, interestingly enough, I do have a soundbite of a lot of Moira's quotes, and she has a quote in the very first episode where she says the word baby, and she says baby. She doesn't say like the weird bebe, like no. And I think it's interesting because you can tell that at that point, like it's just like it was because like later on she had said the word, you know, she said bebe, and everyone thought it was funny. She's like, oh, okay, I'll start saying that from now on. But
keep saying it.
So yeah, just so we can continue talking about it, I will real quick just throw out some Moira quotes.
Yay!
So I have two Moira things.
We might as well just play
It's
through
both.
them all.
It's so one of them is Moira's, like some of my favorite Moira quotes, and then also the other one is, I believe I tried my hardest. I think it's every single time she says "bebe." So,
Bebe.
let's take a listen.
And I am appalled that my baby girl has turned into a selfish, duplicitous whore. Oh, hello.
Hi.
This wine is all full. Give me another glass. Danny boy, the pipes are calling. What you did was impulsive, capricious, and melodramatic. But it was also wrong. They've stripped the Playhouse of my name? Who the fuck is Lucy Albion?
I have a feeling if you want peonies, Moira, you're gonna have to plant them yourself.
These are dark times, John. Not that dark.
Oh my god, that laugh! That
The laugh is the best. She's just like, she's so dead behind the eyes.
It's so funny. Well, so on that note, in honor of all of that, we have to listen to every instance of the word bebe.
Bebe.
Where is Bebe's chamber? Jocelyn has that Bebe thing. My Bebe girl leaving me so soon. Either way, great progress for Bebe. Oh, she has no idea of the toll a Bebe can take on its mother. You said you couldn't make it because of the Bebe. You do realize the Bebe is crying. This is your Bebe, Jocelyn. Does Bebe enjoy the theater? It was the Bebe. I'm so relieved. So now you're taking Bebe to the spa. Oh, wait. My Bebes.
No, your kids aren't here.
My girls.
What girls?
My girls.
So, oh my god, it's so good.
Bebe.
I love the one. So one of, I think an ode to that, the writers. So like Dan, when he was writing some of the episodes, I think that they wanted to actually like specifically point out that she says it that way. Obviously everyone had already noticed by that point, but I think so. I mean, this is just my speculation, but the episode where they run over the cat. And they have to tell like the farmer and his wife and their daughter about it, and the daughter's name happens to be Baby, and like I think guaranteed Dan wrote that just as a tribute to that, so that she had to say it a bunch of times, because that's one of my favorite moments is where she's just like, either way, great progress for Bebe. So funny. Actually, one more soundbite in regards to what's her name, Moira. Is so there's one in like I think it's in the last season, but it's when they're doing like the sound commercials, like the little radio spots for that Alexis gets for Moira, but Moira's just like, no, I'm leaving or whatever, like and she runs off, and then Alexis is just like, oh, I'll do it for her, and so Alexis like imitates Moira, and it's so funny. Well, actually, what's so funny is like I think so. This was as like a promo or as like just a video that someone had her do, like, you know, after the series or whatever. I don't know exactly when it was made, but if you actually look up on YouTube, there is a video. It's super funny of Annie Murphy recreating the Herb Ertlinger wine commercial that Moira does. It's so funny. The way she imitates Moira's accent is like A1. So, next character that will, of course, that we all know and love, Alexis. The queen, the queen herself as well. Okay, well, so what's great about Alexis? So, like, I'm sure everyone knows this, but like Annie Murphy's given a couple of interviews about like her inspiration for Alexis, and she says that a lot of it came from like the vocal fry that she uses, which is apparently like a dialect or like a dialogue coach's like term or like a linguistics term for the way. It is. Like, yeah, the way, like, Valley girls, I guess, would speak.
Acting queen today.
So she, the way she came up with, like, obviously the vocal fry was coming from, like, Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian. Also the way she holds her hands. Like, when she, you know.
I never noticed
with
that.
her little, that's a visual cue for all the people listening on Spotify. But, that came from, she described it as, she noticed the way that all the, like, you know, like Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, how they held their bags. And she was just like, oh, I'll just do it like as if I'm holding a bag, but without a bag. And so she was like walking around like this all the time.
Oh, that's good.
I thought that was pretty funny. But Alexis is just
a cracker in her own right.
She's great.
Queen.
Well, because what I love about it,
I meant that in the Irish sense of cracker. I didn't mean she's white. I mean that she's funny.
She is also white.
She is also white.
What's that, Sinead?
Okay, Jess.
Yeah,
what
Sinead?
I'm
sorry.
To say is that she's unapologetic herself. Let me just finish that. Unapologetic. She's unapologetic about being herself. There we go.
Well, and I completely agree. Because actually, one of the things that I noticed, because while I was so I ended up rewatching it, and like at the beginning of the series, they hint very heavily at like, you know, because she's dating Ted, but she's dating Ted just so she has a boyfriend, just to have a boyfriend, right? But she's like in love with Mutt, right? And they like hint that like, you know, they're made for each other, blah blah blah. But then obviously, you know, everyone who's watched the show knows that she ends up with Ted. Well, doesn't end up with Ted, but he ends up being the better relationship for her and the longer relationship. And what I thought was interesting is that like, first of all, I really like that she had a character arc like that. You know, like she started off as this vapid person who was only like, she was really kind of only into Mutt for like basically his looks. And then, you know, she really matures both in herself and in her relationship with Ted, but we'll get into her relationship with Ted in a second. What I want to say about her relationship with Mutt was the most condescending and unappreciative guy.
Oh, true.
Because when I watched it again, because like obviously
he was horrible to his dad.
Well, because you want them to get together in the beginning, right? Because like, you know, they set that up in that way, like that you're waiting for like Twyla and Mutt to break up so that Alexis and Mutt can be together, right?
Yeah.
But when they're actually together, like Mutt's so like rude to her. Like anytime, horrible. Like, you know, like like anytime she's just like, she says something, he's just like, oh, like you can tell that he just thinks that she's a vapid, like shallow bitch. And TBH, she is, to be fair.
Yeah.
But,
no,
he's her boyfriend. Like, someone who cares about you in that sense should not think of you that way. I don't care if it's like, you know, if they keep it to themselves or not, they shouldn't think of you that way. And I really don't, like, I was really glad that Mutt and Alexis didn't last very long, and that when she did, like, get together with Ted, it was a full relationship with mutual respect.
He was so mean to his dad, who is the mayor.
Show
your dad some respect.
I mean, Roland's a whole other story, but like, you know, yeah, exactly. Like, still, like, I just don't think that Mutt was a really great character. Like, or he was a good character. I just don't think he was a really great person. But yeah, like on Sinead's point, like, I really do agree. Like, she's unapologetically herself, and even though she starts off really vapid and like shallow, like, and she's still kind of like, she's still Alexis by the end. She's not like this, like, you know, really down to earth person and all that. Yeah, she's still her, but she matures, and she really like you know. She becomes more, gains more perspective, and she becomes more of like a really well-rounded person. And I really liked her journey and her character arc. I definitely think was one of the better character arcs on the show, for sure.
Yes,
I agree.
It was good,
and she's also
I agree.
the most quotable.
Yes. So now on that moment,
I love when she's like talking about all her ex-boyfriends or like
oh my god,
little, like ventures.
Yes. So like I think, yeah. Well, it's not even just her ex-boyfriend, just anything in her past. Like, she was like there. Did you know that there's some conspiracy theories that like Alexis is like a spy, like an international
like
spy,
she's like a Russian spy.
Yeah, like that she's like an international spy, and that's why she has all these crazy adventures. Is because she's
love
a spy.
Like a spin-off called like a little bit Alexis, where she just goes on a bunch of adventures.
Right.
But it's, like,
I kind of want them to
like,
make a
shot
little,
like Indiana Jones.
And the theme song is the fucking little bit.
Well, I kind of do
but, like,
want them to
version.
make a little bit Alexis as like a spin-off series, because I think that would be so funny. Like, I think Dan Levy would do really well with that. But on that note, so let's listen to this little supercut that I made of Alexis's most quotable moments.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Thank you.
The actual longest relationship was a 3-month affair with a Saudi prince, but for the last 2 months of that, I was trapped in his palace trying to get to an embassy. Do I have to remind you of the time that I was taken hostage on David Geffen's yacht by Somali pirates for a week and nobody answered my texts? Like, I once dated this sultan's nephew who was forbidden to talk to me or even to look at me, and we made it work for like half a regime change. I'm sorry, were you picked up by the South Korean secret police on New Year's? You learn pretty quickly when you're in a Ugandan diamond smuggler's villa playing for your friend's freedom.
Right. Wait, what?
Try one of our in-flight meals. If you dare, at Laurier.
You're wearing a wedding dress. To my wedding.
This is not a wedding dress. It's a white floor-length gown. It's very different.
Did it come with a veil?
No, it came with a headdress.
What?
I was supposed to go to dinner with Ted, David.
Then go for dinner with Ted.
Well, now I feel like I should be here for you. I didn't go missing, David. The FBI knew where I was the entire time. You tried parallel parking in a burqa, David. It's like a witch's house in here, David.
Shush!
Speaking of which, David, I'm gonna need you to come and look at the apartment with me.
Okay, why would I do that?
I'm sorry for not responding to like one text, David. Ew, no, David. Snap, David. Oh, yay, David. Yay. Oh my God, ew, David. Ouch, David. Ouch, David. Ew, David. Oh, you're such a dick, David. David! David!
Stop!
David! David!
Stop yelling, David!
So yeah, the end of that
David.
The end of that supercut was kind of like a mini supercut
in the field.
Some, not all of the times that she says David. Because fun fact about her saying David, she actually only says "you, David," which is the like supposed like quoted like the quote from it, like that everyone's like her iconic quote. She only says "you, David" 3 times.
I noticed this when I was watching it because I knew of like "ooh, David" before I watched it, and then I was like, expecting it like every episode, but she says that like the least.
Yeah, no. Conversely, she says like any variation of David 224 times. So clearly, that supercut did not include all of them. It was just a decent amount. It does include all 3 "you, Davids," but I mean, obviously, those weren't even all of her quotable lines. Those were just some of them. But
there's so many.
Gosh.
Too many.
There's so many.
Too many.
There's so
many.
Well, and
too
so
many
like
diggers.
as we were talking about earlier, I think that they
diggers.
should do a
Indiana Jones style spin-off called A Little Bit Alexis.
I think they should do the critically reviewed Little Bit Alexis. Do we want to listen to it or do we want to move on? Or like we'll save that later.
Really quick.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Alexis Rose, represented by Alexis Rose Talent.
Okay, what are you gonna be singing for us today, Alexis?
I have chosen to perform the title track off of my critically reviewed limited reality series, A Little Bit Alexis. Ooh. Feel free to sing along if you know the words.
Okay.
I love the dance that goes along to it. She apparently choreographed it as well.
Are you ready? Let's do it. I'm a Lamborghini. I'm a Hollywood star. I'm a little bit tipsy when I drive my car. I'm expensive sushi. I'm a cute, huge yacht. I'm a little bit single, even when I'm not. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit of la 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 la. A little bit of Alexis. La 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 la. A little bit of Alexis.
Okay,
yes. La la la.
Wonderful.
That's for the Instagram.
Absolutely. Oh, 100%. I'm gonna make a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, so good. Does anyone else have anything else to say about it? Oh, I love her little boop. Like she boops everyone.
No, queen.
It's really cute.
Oh, Alexis.
I also actually really love the character arc between her and Moira. Like, you know, the fact that they like start off like Moira knows nothing about Alexis and she has to like prepare cards for their like lunch and like she doesn't have her number and all that. But then by the end, they really are. They become really close and Moira really is proud of her daughter and Alexis really like, you know, has this really great bond with her and I think that was really cute.
There's still Moira and Alexis and that's why we love Schitt's Creek.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the third, like, all of them I think are equally iconic. Let's talk about David. Okay, wait. So actually before we get into the discussion of David, my all-time favorite, like, line ever, anywhere, in any sense, ever, is actually, it was in the supercut that I had of Alexis, but I took out just the one specific part of it that is just like the all-time best like line ever, as I said, is when they're like when she's dressed in a wedding dress and the way he says this line.
What?
What? It's
with
so
the W
funny.
with the
It's
H.
just like you're wearing a wedding dress. Like, did it come with a veil? No, it came with a headdress. What? so funny. Oh my
I
god,
love it. I think he's my
watch that on
favorite.
repeat all the time.
he's my favorite.
His
He's
well, because he's got
quotable,
some really
is
quotable
David.
lines. He's just so funny. Just him. He is funny. It's not even
He
his
is
lines.
funny.
It's the way he says things.
Like, oh my god, no, it lives free rent in my head since I saw the bit where they're like Moira and David are cooking. And she's like, fold in the cheese. And he's like, I do not know how to fold in cheese.
Oh my god, if you say fold one more
time.
What does burning smell like? Well, because like, oh my gosh, yes. Like him in the field with the like the pitchfork and the hood. Beautiful. But like what I really love what I think is so impressive though is that Dan Levy was the showrunner. He directed a couple of episodes in the last season, but he was the showrunner and producer and the writer. Like he was wearing so many hats, along with the fact that he was acting as a main character. It's so impressive. Yeah, right? It's impressive.
No one does it like
Dan Levy is just he's
Chef Kiss.
Absolutely.
True.
Mwah.
Absolutely. I'm so impressed by Dan Levy.
And if we're gonna talk about David, the wedding.
The wedding was
so cute. I love how everyone has been dressing up as Moira on Halloween.
Yeah.
From the wedding.
Oh my god, that was such an iconic look.
It was just so sweet.
Actually, on that note though, like one thing, it's gonna be a hot take, I know, slightly controversial.
What is it? What is it?
Biggest fan of Patrick singing his vows.
Neither was I felt so uncomfortable.
I was really uncomfortable.
It was kind of weird. It was an odd choice.
I get it. It was cute. It was okay. But like, it made me a little bit. I was like, "Oh, we're doing this, okay?"
Right now,
you know, like if I were getting married and my partner were singing to me in the middle, like with no music and was just singing, I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Thank you.
Yay.
Very much,
yeah.
sir.
I mean, yeah. So like, I know that a lot of people thought it was really, really sweet, and they like absolutely love it. But I don't know. It was a little uncomfortable.
Didn't like it. I was uncomfy watching it.
So yeah,
I was also uncomfy that he had like odd socks on.
But yeah, the wedding was really, really good, and I think that it was such a good decision to have the finale as the wedding episode, and like ended on like the end of like, you know, David and Patrick's journey. Well, not the end, but like, you know, it was like
a new beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's good.
The end of their journey is marriage.
Well, do we kind of want to talk a little bit about the finale before we get into like kind of overall
opinions,
just kind of points?
It was
stuff?
Nice.
Well, because what I really like about the finale is that like the way they kind of focused on like new beginnings as the finale, because like it's a way of like making it seem like, you know, there's a lot more for the characters, and it makes you happy and like excited for them, but also it's a good way of like tying up loose ends and making sure that everyone understands like
this is the
you know,
end
yeah,
of the
and
show.
that you like,
This
and that
is the
there's
end.
great paths ahead for each of the characters, so you're not disappointed in anything, and
no
like
one
everything
dies.
makes sense. Like the fact that David decides to stay in Schitt's Creek because Patrick is, oh my gosh, that speech that Stevie gives him, like while they're sitting there on the car hood looking at the house, and he's just like, you know, and she's just like, why are you so like determined to go back to where people, like, you know, these people were so horrible to you? And he's like, I don't want them to like, you know, I want to show them that like I won. Like, you know, I don't want them to think that I'm a loser. And that's such a relatable feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Even if people are horrible to you, that's the whole point, is like a lot of the times like people do things in defiance, which ends up good in the end a lot of the times, but it's also just like, that's what Stevie was saying. Like, you've won. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter if they know, you know, or what they like, you know, how they perceive your life. It's about how you perceive your life. And I really, really love that speech. It's such a good speech. Like, you
It was just
won.
a really nice way to like end the season.
Exactly. And I really,
It doesn't have to be ha funny all the time. Sometimes we can have some
Well, and that's what's really great about the series too, is that it is a really funny show, but it really it's not relying on its comedy. It's relying on the stories, which do happen to be funny, but they're real, like real stories,
Good
you know?
storytelling. That's good comedy.
Yeah. Exactly.
What
Why did you turn into Borat?
I thought she was from Bora.
I thought she was
My life.
Sinead said my
No, but I
life.
agree. Like, it is really good storytelling. Dan Levy is a really good storyteller. And one thing that I really like about it too is that like the way, you know, because it's that classic story of like, you know, money doesn't bring happiness. Money isn't everything. It doesn't make your life meaningful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so before we get into production, then we're gonna take a break. We'll come back and finish up the discussion about Schitt's Creek and then go on for the rest of the episode. So
see you soon, baby.
See you.
See you soon.
okay, and we're back. Psych, we're here the next day.
Psych?
It's not.
We're not here.
Yeah, right. We're
We
back.
goofed
Psych.
you. Psych,
Psych.
we never came back.
Psych, and it's the next day.
Yeah, psych you.
So. Anyway. What was that?
Ew.
Ariana Grande laugh. All right.
Ew.
So anyway, so yeah, let's continue on. So, does anyone have any other story points for Schitt's Creek?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right. Nick, go for it.
She's okay.
And this is just one thing I've noticed. Bob's little jog.
Honestly, the townies are spectacular. They're so good.
Yeah, the townspeople are amazing. Like they're such little characters, and I love them.
And they're
If
also
Sinead-
frustrating to like watch, but like that's what makes them so funny.
If Sinead was anyone ever, she'd be a townie in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. Well, because like I mean, I feel like there's not a ton of shows like that are like small town shows with like a bunch of townies, and the ones that are like you know the townies aren't like the best. Like I don't know that the writing's as good. Like I would equate like Schitt's Creek's writing of like the small town and like the supporting characters and stuff to like things like Gilmore Girls, because they had, I don't know if any of you guys did watch Gilmore Girls.
Never attended.
I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course
right?
Sinead has.
Stars Hollow is kind of like Schitt's Creek in the fact that like all the townies are a little bit ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that like it adds a lot of like, you know, just fun but also like some depth to the show, so that you don't only have the main characters. It has like, you know, a supporting cast and stuff. But it's not like too much, you know. It's not like Grey's Anatomy with like 40 million characters and you have to have a backstory.
And one of them is Demi Lovato.
Like,
Stop.
Psych, it's Demi Lovato.
But yeah, I agree. Bob's little jog is so funny.
That's Sinead. Bob reminds me of Sinead.
I know. I'm gonna
Sinead's
my
not
wife's
as like
gonna leave me.
Sinead's not as stupid as Bob.
She's a genius.
Would I not be Roland?
Would you be Roland? Do you want to be Roland? I wouldn't want to be
I
Roland.
feel like
We're gonna take personality quizzes.
I honestly, like, I don't want to say that I'm Alexis because I'm not, but like,
I need
Alexis
to know there
is
was
my
a note.
spirit animal.
I wrote a note that says Cassie reminds me of Alexis and
Okay.
backspaced it.
You remind me more of Stevie.
Anyway, so
And that's
anyway,
okay.
any other points on story?
I think we just love them.
yeah.
I think we should just get married.
All right, yeah.
Word,
Let's talk a
psych.
little bit about production. So
Okay.
I know that we don't have a ton to talk about with production because, like,
We
I mean,
never
Schitt's
do
Creek,
with sitcoms.
Schitt's Creek does follow quite a standard, like, you know, newer sitcom format. Like, it's not like the 3-camera, like, you know, studio audience kind of format as like,
Thank
you know,
God.
was the typical kind of sitcom back in the day.
Thank God that
But
died.
It is very similar, you know, it's like part studio, part on location. You know, they do single camera, like lots of motion and all that. But we can talk a little bit about like production design, like costuming and stuff, and just in general, like, you know, the production of like the series and like overall. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, so on the note of production design for costuming and stuff and hair and makeup, there are apparently like over 100 wigs that Moira wears.
Oh, I believe that.
I
throughout the
believe it.
seasons.
There's no surprise.
Or throughout the series, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was great. And I love the aesthetic that they gave Moira. I know we said this earlier, but like the aesthetic that they gave Moira was just like, I absolutely stunning.
Exquisite. Chef's kiss, as they say.
Wow.
I thought you were saying that in Moira's voice.
That's just my way to speak.
Chef's kiss,
Yes,
as they say.
No, I think it's like they have a lot of character to to the place. Like, it looks like it's well lived in, if that makes sense. Like, it looks like it's to be real.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing that happened with, like, you know, How I Met Your Mother and like that 70s show and all that. Like, having a studio, like, 3-wall, like, you know, having no fourth wall and having like that, you know, non-breakable line with the 3 cameras and a studio audience, whether it was actually there or not. Like, you know, it's more difficult to make it more of a realistic, like, feel. Whereas in Schitt's Creek, because they had like full sets and they were moving around them, they had different camera angles.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, part on studio and also part on location, because nothing that was on Friends or that 70s show or How I Met Your Mother was on location, aside from maybe a couple of shots.
They went to London in that one episode. In Friends.
Phoebe got married outside.
But talking a little bit more about production design, I like, so a couple of the things that I really liked specifically about the production design was that they made specific jokes that, like, weren't, like, scripted. Well, I mean, you know, they were scripted. I'm sure that they were, like, you know, written out and all that. Mm-hmm. But, like, they weren't, like, dialogue or anything. There weren't, like, physical jokes or anything. It was more, like, props that were specifically jokes. Like, for example, like, the best example I can think of is, well, not even just the wigs, because that was more, like, they talked about the wigs. Yeah. I'm talking specifically about the menus at Tropical. Like, the 4-page, like, massive menus that were, like, comically, like, ridiculously large. Like, I like things like that where it's just kind of, like, it's not, like, no one's gonna talk about it, but it's there for the laugh. Like, it's made because it's funny. You know?
Like, it's meant to be funny, but one day we're not gonna. It's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge situation, guys.
Exactly. So.
Also, I don't know how, but you ever watch something and it just looks so crisp? Because something about Schitt's Creek looks real crisp.
I hate very high def.
It is high def. That's why it's like crispy as hell.
Yeah, well, I think it's also, I don't know exactly what cameras they used for Schitt's Creek, but I know that they did do a single camera shoot, so it was basically just, they did several takes rather than like in Friends or that 70 show or anything where they have 3 separate angles and then they still do more takes, but like they, you know, have multiple angles from one specific take.
It was the Android 11.
No, Apple.
It just looks the production design crisp, the camera crisp.
Well, I think it's like, and like I said earlier, I mean, I know I said this earlier, but like I think it's really impressive that Dan Levy was like had so many different roles in production.
Because that's hard.
Yeah, well, because I mean, he obviously wrote it. I think he directed like an episode or 2 near the end. He was the showrunner the entire time. I think he Eugene Levy was also a co-showrunner for like the first like I think 4 seasons, and then the last 2 it was Dan Levy himself. But yeah, I mean, he and obviously he was also one of the like producers and stuff. Like he was basically like everything. And he was also acting.
A triple
threat. Not only was he acting in it, he was acting such a like beautifully acted character, you know? Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all we're going to say on Schitt's Creek. I know that there's quite a lot of, you know, content.
Go listen to the Schitt's Creek podcast.
There's never going to be enough time to talk about Schitt's Creek and its wondrousness. But overall, pretty good show. So I guess we can go ahead and rate it as well with, you know, like we do with the movies, even though it is a show. Actually, you know what I want to do instead of rating it? Because it's a TV show. I think it's harder to rate a TV show overall than a movie. Let's all say what our favorite episode / like storyline is.
I'll say our favorite moment.
Yeah, like, and it, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be episode if you don't remember all the episodes, but like, just what storyline was your favorite?
Bob, little run, his little jog. And then when we find out his wife, that's done.
Yeah, and then he just cannot get over. Well, because for the longest time where he's just like, oh yeah, I'm leaving basically leaving the door unlocked just in case Gwen comes back.
I think my favorite storyline is probably just like Patrick and David's like relationship.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But my favorite moment, thank you, Sinead. I know we already said it, but just fucking like the town in which I currently am in. Yeah. Like that is just like the delivery's spot on. I love that woman.
I think it's so hard to pick what my favorite, like, storyline is. I like how I'm the one who asked this question now.
And you're like, I don't know.
All right, just go first, and then I'll answer. Cause I knew
David in the field lives rent-free in my head.
Yes. Oh,
that honestly,
David in the field is my favorite
with
scene.
His pitch, well, like, what was it, a shovel or a pitchfork?
It was like a pitchfork, and he's on the ground, and he's so hood up, and he's like,
God.
I know.
Yeah, no, I think, like, my favorite, I think genuinely, like, Alexis is my favorite character for multiple reasons, because I think she's a multidimensional character, and she's the one that grows the most throughout the series, but specifically, like, her relationship with Ted, because I know we mentioned it a little bit, but we didn't really, like, delve into it, and I think what was really great about their relationship is the fact that it was probably one of the healthiest relationships that's been that is, like, you know, presented on TV, because a lot of the time a lot of unrealistic relationships, like, they're either so perfect or there's a lot of problems in them, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I feel like with Alexis and Ted, it was a real relationship with real problems, and they dealt with them in very mature, healthy ways. Like, the fact that they didn't end up together, but it was a very, like, you know, it was a mutual decision, and it was really good, and they made it because it was the best decision for the both of them, and yet it was still, like, bittersweet. Like, I really like Alexis and Ted's relationship, for sure.
They're
Granted,
cute.
I'd say my favorite moment is definitely when she's wearing, like, a wedding dress to his wedding, and he's like...
what?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I know, I talked about this earlier. But, like, and he's just like, did it come with a headdress? Oh, my God, that's such a good, like, moment. All right.
Oh, Alexis.
Well, solid show. Love it. It's great. So we're going to take a quick break, you know, refresh ourselves a little bit, and come back for the rest of the episode.
Oh my God, I don't know what just came out of my mouth.
And we're back for the second time. That was a really subdued way of saying we're back. I'll do that again. We're back, everyone.
Hi.
Woo. Why do we always cheer?
Because
Like,
it's exciting. It's a good thing to be back.
Over in 2020.
Woo! It's the little things in life, okay?
I got out of bed before 2 p.m. Woo!
We're wooing the listener that's still there. We love you, Cassie's mom.
I love that, because my mom, guaranteed, if no one were to ever listen to this ever again, my mother would still listen to this show.
My mom won't. I don't think
surprisingly, considering
she
we are
has.
Very inappropriate on the show. So anyway,
my dad could be an avid listener.
Fuck. Tits.
Shout out.
Bitch.
No, oh god,
shit.
cut that out.
Alright, so
Tits.
let's
Bitch.
move on to NATO's nut. Jess, you want to... if you're watching this on, like, YouTube, you can see the moment when I was about, like, I hadn't even gotten to saying, like, hey, Jess, take it away, and she just, like, the just pure, like, dread
They'll
she
hear
had.
it. They'll hear it. Oh my God. Sinead.
Oh my God.
What?
You know what that sounds like? If this were like a horror film, and it's like some no, if this were like a horror film, and like it's like a ghost like singing, like, you know, that creepy like child ghost like
Jess
singing.
Is the
Oh my
shrimp
God,
from
yeah.
Shark Tale.
Oh my God, they did a shrimp.
Okay, so Sinead, who you got for us this week?
I'm really indecisive.
Okay.
There's two I cannot pick.
Do an eeny, miny, mo on it.
Should I?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna hate both of them.
I'm
It's okay.
well, I'm ready for
It's
it.
a lose-lose. It's fine.
Wait, one of them is on TV. The other one is in movies.
Well, then let's do the
What?
TV one
TV
since
one.
it's a TV episode. You're so cute.
It's Wendy Williams. But it's not just because of her song.
It's
I love you, Sinead.
She is a journalist. She's given us hot tea every single day of the week.
And
Now.
she's a very talented singer.
No, let me finish.
Okay,
I haven't
go.
finished
Oh yeah,
my
sorry,
episode.
go. Continue.
She's been content to enjoy years. She's so iconic. Hold on, I'm going to give you a brief history of the memes.
Oh.
Yes.
Give us
Please.
Okay, there's one, Halloween. There's two of her for Halloween show. She's dressed up as Lady Liberty. She faints. Quotation marks faints. It's just like, and then the next one, she looks into the audience. There's someone with a Halloween mask, like a zombie. And she goes, "Oh my god, what is that?" Oh. And then I'm telling you all of them. She's in like her wardrobe or closet, and she's crying. She's like, "Oh my god."
I can't.
Then she is the moment. She is the moment. Dula peep.
Dula peep.
Dula peep.
Oh my god.
Okay. There's more.
You're struggling so bad.
She needs some air.
She needs some.
She
milk.
needs some, she needs an oxygen tank.
Oh no, she's also just so shady. And then
she's this shady ass fucking bitch.
She's the shadiest, but I love it.
So
but
mean.
the new one, she's singing. She's dressed up as a pair of lips for Masked Singer, and it's become the anthem on TikTok for like the election.
Yeah.
No one
Opens the door.
Nuh-uh.
Oh.
For a native New Yorker.
Well, so
Put the clip in because it's so
We'll
good.
send you it.
I
She
just
snorts.
she's so problematic though.
Oh no, she's a
Oh, she's
bitch.
awful.
She is the worst.
Oh, she's not nice.
Well, it's not just that she's not
funny.
nice. She's like she says things that are not okay.
Oh yeah. No, I don't condemn those things. But do she make me laugh? Yeah. And I need a
Fair
laugh
enough.
in 2020.
That's
In
fair.
2020, it's
Can I
okay.
give you guys a hot take on Wendy Williams? Okay.
Go for it.
She's the modern day P.T. Barnum. Because P.T. Barnum is the guy. Did you watch Greatest Showman?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
you know
P.T. Barnum.
the way he's an awful man in real
Oh
life?
yeah.
Like how, awful
Yeah.
person. No, morals are out the window. But when she puts on a show, it's a good show.
She said it's the
It
greatest
is-
show.
It is the great, and also just another meme that kind of goes unnoticed. I absolutely love. It's the one where she's like, "Okay, do you guys want to hear the song? Here's the song. Wendy Williams is a fat whale."
No, wait. Have you seen the one like, "Oh, I really feel sorry for people with social anxiety." Yeah.
See, I think the problem.
Or no, there's another one. "Oh, she's dead.
She passed away.
She passed away." Aww.
See, I think my problem with Wendy Williams is because I'm not like a huge like daytime talk show person. Like
Oh, no,
I
I hate
don't
it.
watch Ellen or
I hate
Wendy
her.
or
Yeah.
any
No, I don't
of the
really
other
watch them.
shit.
It's
Like
just the memes.
I'm a millennial, so like as much as I know some memes, I don't know all memes because I'm not of the meme generation. So I don't know. I think like the only thing that I ever get is when people are just like slamming her for saying some really horrible stuff, like really like just not okay stuff. And that's the only like reference I have of Wendy Williams. So when you said her, I was just like, ugh.
We have to educate you, child. You're gonna edit this, and we're gonna send you like meme, TikTok,
Oh
meme,
God,
meme,
this is gonna be
TikTok.
the worst.
The way Gen Z humor works is like we take someone that we don't like and we make them the funniest person in the world.
That's true.
But we do all the work. For Wendy Williams, she does do the work.
Yeah, I was
You gotta
gonna
give
say,
it to
I
her.
feel like it's not that hard to make Wendy Williams
she-
funny.
No.
I just find her funny. Okay,
And she is. You're right. She is funny.
Fair enough.
Yeah, her being a bad person. No, that's not okay.
I like
But
it.
I was also gonna pick Chet.
Oh no, you
No,
Okay,
I have
okay,
a double whammy. I
Okay.
need to tell you why.
Okay.
He's in Bratz.
Bratz?
Is
he the deaf one?
Bratz.
Is he the deaf one?
You're so
that knows
excited.
Kung Fu.
Sorry, I just remember that scene. It's so poorly done.
Anyway.
Okay,
he's
he's
a
in Bratz.
nerd. that like Jade and no new Kung Fu.
I don't know what we're talking about because I don't.
The
I know I didn't watch Bratz.
But also, not even when he done a live stream when his dad got corona, and someone's like, "Oh my god, I wish you got it instead of your dad." And he had like a massive rant, like "fuck you, dude." What the fuck? He was like, "Not even tripping. I'm not even tripping."
Oh,
Why
Chet.
do you look like that?
Oh, Chet.
Chet makes it. Chet makes
love with
another
him.
appearance in the podcast.
Chet is the new Jack and Jill.
Maybe.
Please not.
Maybe Chet.
I don't know what would I be more unhappy with, having Chet brought up in every episode or Jack and Jill brought up in every
That
episode?
should be a segment we do.
Would you rather?
A movie. We pick a movie, but we put Chet Hansen to it and see how it would change. Call Me by Your Name, but instead of Timothée Chalamet,
it's Chet.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm gonna move us
I picked
right
two
along.
mediocre people,
which makes
one great one. Which makes one slightly less mediocre person. Okay.
Oh, that was good.
So that was a fun.
Keeping it funny.
It was good. Okay, so we have a fun one. To end out today's episode.
One that has shaped my childhood.
So our segment today is a childhood film.
Hi guys, we're doing Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
MTV Unplugged Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
So I'll just dive right into the fun facts. So
give us the funnest of facts.
The film actually didn't have the best critical reception immediately.
Oh,
it obviously has a massive following. Right, are we surprised? But yeah, so it has a massive cult following now. It's very commended for like, a lot of specific elements in it, but it wasn't very well critically received.
I believe that.
That's believable.
But yeah, so the movie was shot and completed so quickly, like that by the time they were ready to like send it off to like the people to get it like ready for distribution. The advertisers weren't even finished coming up with like the promotions.
That's the downfall.
Like that, it was shot and like just edited and everything. It was finished so fast.
People were excited about this.
How do you even market a movie like that? Like, how do you?
Do you like sharks?
Like on Disney
Do you
Channel.
like lava?
It was back in the day when Disney
Do you
Channel.
like dreaming?
I feel like this is the primo movie to like
show,
promote
like,
on Disney Channel, like back in the day when they had like
to
the Disney
16-year-olds.
Channel like stars with the like wand making the. Here, I'm gonna do it on my screen.
I'm
using some chopsticks.
13 to 16-year-olds.
Okay.
Okay. She's Cassie Egger, and you're watching.
And you're watching the movie Rats.
Shizney Channel.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Okay, so anyway, next fun fact. So yeah, as I said, it wasn't very well critically received. So it was classified as like an absolute box office failure, like a box office bomb. It was a complete flop. What's up?
Was it like? Did people compare it to Spy Kids?
They
felt
did.
like that
Well,
was, like,
so
the thing.
yeah, we'll get into that. But I mean, it was made by the same production company.
Makes sense.
So, but yeah, so like it was classified as basically a massive like box office like bomb, which was credited to a lot of that specifically. Like, a lot of critics credited the reason why it like didn't do so well was that it was really unnecessary to use 3D in an otherwise visually like interesting film. So okay, yeah, actually, the official title of the movie is The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I never got to watch it in 3D.
I never got to see it in 3D either.
Basically, but that's the thing though. But that's the thing though, is like the fact that you guys watched it and didn't immediately, like, if I said that it was in 3D, you wouldn't be like, oh, that makes sense. Like you were shocked. Like it didn't need to be in 3D. There were a couple of things that like, were 3D-esque, but like for the most part, it was a very visually interesting film. It had a lot of visual elements, but it was unnecessary to be in 3D. And that's what a lot of critics credited its failure in the box office too. So basically, it only made about a net profit of $20 million because it cost, I believe it cost $50 million to make, and it only...
Hi, Kate. How are you? Hi, guys.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
They also
wow, we haven't, you know what? We haven't had a Boylan interruption in a good while.
Hello.
recording the podcast.
I'm sorry.
she's like, turn it up, crank up.
It's the Debbie episode.
Yeah,
Do
we
you know
haven't
how
had a
much
Debbie
Debbie's
interruption
so-
in a good while.
Do you know how much Shark Boy and Lava Girl made on initial release?
69
million.
Yeah, so it had a budget of 50 million and only made 69 million, so it didn't even make 20 million as a net profit, which is not successful, considered successful. And that was worldwide too. That wasn't even just in the States. That was worldwide. It only made 69 million dollars.
If they re-released it, do you think they'd make like twice as much?
Well, that's actually something I have as one of my
so.
points. So anyway, next one. So Taylor Dooley, the girl who plays Lava Girl, actually dyed her hair. That was not a wig.
You said she died.
I saw photos.
Imagine, and she has dark hair. So she had to
She's
bleach the
committed.
shit out of that, and it was well
Oh,
done.
her
I
was
really thought that was
How
a wig.
old is she?
10,
Like
11.
10? Bleaching your hair peroxide to get
They
it.
couldn't have blown the budget another like $70 for a decent
Wig.
front.
Well, I feel like also back at that point, wigs still weren't
A big thing.
at the level of
They're like,
realism that they are
Sorry,
now.
kid, we dropped $100 on Taylor Lautner's shark dentures. You're just gonna have to bleach your hair.
Okay, well, so next one.
Stop, that's too funny.
So I'm sure, I feel like everyone knows this is like a classic thing, but so Taylor Lautner was actually trained in martial arts. He got the role because of this.
What? Oh, it's at
And he choreographed all of his own fight scenes.
No way.
Did he choreograph his dance? For the
No.
Yes!
Yes! No, that's sick.
We're not on Fox anymore, guys.
Well, because I think it was at least for my generation specifically when I was younger, because I can't remember exactly how old Taylor Lautner is, but I'm about his age. And when I was younger, it was everyone was like, oh, Taylor Lautner, because he was our age, and my age. And so. But yeah, that was his thing, when he was really young, before he did Twilight, everything that he was in and all that, everyone knew he was big in martial arts, and he was he was really well trained. He did a lot of martial arts when he was younger, and so that was apparently one of the reasons that he got the role. He was the only choice that Robert Rodriguez had, apparently, because of Taylor Lautner coming in, because he apparently didn't tell the casting director that he knew martial arts until the actual audition, and then he performed a lot of stuff, and they were like, oh, well, shit.
Could you imagine an 11-year-old walks in, he throws the script down and goes, watch this, and just does a backflip, and they're like, get this boy some shark dentures now!
Get this man a shark denture.
So, next fun fact, there are over 1,000 effects in the film, and it was handled by 11 animation studios.
Oh,
11 different studios handled this
I thought
movie.
you meant 11 animators. I was like,
No,
This
11
is the
animation
All Dogs Go to Heaven
studios.
2 of live action movies.
Okay, well, so to give you a reference, there were 13 CGI special effects studios that worked on Endgame.
Okay.
Wait, that's Endgame though.
I know, that's what I'm saying, is that 11
Shark Boy and Lava
to 13
Girl
and
on the same level.
So yeah, to give you a reference, it was
Iron Man
similar to
dies
the
at the
amount of
end of Shark Boy.
animators that worked. It was similar to the amount of animators that worked on
Mr.
Avengers
Electric.
Endgame, and this was their end product.
At the end of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, Shark Boy puts on the Infinity Gauntlet, and then
Mr. Electric.
and as he dies, Lava Girl's like, "It's okay, you can rest. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna be fine."
Oh my god.
I only have a couple more fun facts. So Robert Rodriguez, which is the creator of the film,
He created Spy Kids.
Yes. So that's why
three of them.
it's very heavily compared to Spy Kids, because of the fact that it was made by the same production studio, as well as Robert Rodriguez had a massive role in both. And actually fun interesting fact about Robert Rodriguez, he's really, really good friends with Quentin Tarantino.
That's weird.
Oh.
That's weird.
That's
That's
suspicious.
The personal fun fact about Robert Rodriguez, he graduated from UT Austin, which is my alma mater, with his degree in radio, television, and film.
I thought you were going to say he's your uncle.
I heard a story that he made Spy Kids to scare his kids. You know the spy clones? He's like, here's a lesson.
Oh, that's funny. I hope that's true. Well,
that's so scary though.
Speaking on that
pretty sure
topic,
he wrote
actually,
this one.
he wrote this one. The entire idea for this film was based off of it was his son's idea. So in the credits, I believe it says Racer Max, story created by Racer Max, which is his son, and that's why the main character's name is Max.
It's cute, but it's not. Cute. It's not worth losing like 50 million.
Yes, it is.
Hey,
it is.
If you want to do that, go outside your back, get your camera out, and like do a TikTok with your fucking son. Okay. Don't.
Okay, yeah, but like if they did that, we wouldn't have this absolute masterpiece.
Oh my dream journal.
One last fun fact, and I really, I hope that none of you have heard this because I want to be the first person to tell you. There's a sequel coming out.
No.
You better not be lying.
I'm not lying.
You better not be lying.
It's called.
What does the girl who plays
it's
Lava
called
Girl look like
We
now?
Can Be Heroes. It's coming out on Netflix in 2021.
No way.
Who's playing who?
Now, see, on the Wikipedia page, in the first part of it, it does say that both Taylor Lautner and Taylor Dooley are reprising their roles. However, on the IMDb page, and I believe on all other sites that are confirming the cast, only Taylor Dooley is confirmed to have reprised her role. Taylor Lautner is, I don't believe, is going to be in it. But yeah,
no,
there's the sequel.
Pedro.
Taylor Dooley's looking cute. She's looking cute.
Is Pedro Pascal going to be Shark Boy?
So basically,
no, is it going to be Mr. Electro?
The premise for the new movie is that Shark Boy and Lava Girl got married and had a child.
And what's the child's powers?
The child, I believe, just has both powers.
Renee. They're
older.
Trigger! They use 11 CGI studios to make the baby's face. They've got one studio on the eyes.
God, let's be real though. If they had used the same animation studios that made this movie, they would have made a better Renesmee than the one they did. But anyway, okay, so basically, I believe that the story for We Can Be Heroes centers around the idea that that Shark Boy and Lava Girl were kidnapped, and their daughter has to bring back I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think Max ends up marrying what's her name, Marissa? Or something that maybe I don't know, but it does say that the children of Earth superheroes. So I'm assuming that it's Max's son or daughter that ends up partnering up with Shark Boy and Lava Girl's daughter to save them. But there's very little information about what is going to happen in the movie. There's very few pictures from set or anything. I don't even know if they're finished filming it. I think they are, but yeah, there's very little information about it, but it's coming to Netflix in 2021, so everyone look out for that.
If my boy Linus ain't in this fucking movie,
all right,
and if he ain't ruining dream journals.
On that note, let's go ahead and hop on into our story discussion. Can we talk about how horrible of a person Mr. Electricidad is?
Oh wait, I just called him Mr. Electric.
Well, that's the thing, because his character in the dream world is Mr. Electric, but that's why he's in the beginning of the film, remember when he's just like, my name's not Mr. Electric, or it's Mr. Electricidad. And by the way, what the fuck kind of name is that?
That's such
what is it?
You know when you need to make something just sound slightly different, you just throw a fill
right
at the end.
It's like
yeah.
His name, fucking Linus, did they have to call him that just so they could make the
Well,
fucking
I mean, Linus is
joke?
a real name, though. Linus is a real name.
Name 5.
Mr. Electricidad
Name
is
5
not
Linuses
a real person.
on the spot.
I know,
So,
Richie.
Among all of you.
Lionel! Okay. So, all right. But anyway. But yeah, can we talk about how horrible of a person he is? Because even forgetting the end to begin with, not even talking about the end, in the beginning when he's basically calling Linus names and making fun of him for, and then also making fun of Max and not stopping Linus from bullying Max outright. And he's also just don't no one talk to my daughter. She can't have any friends. What the fuck?
He's a bit crazy.
He's the worst.
I just realized I can fuck David Letterman. I can write bars for Linus. Do you want to hear my bars for Linus?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, hold on. Linus, you changed your name to a minus. Guess you took the L. Oh my god, I just dropped my mic.
Do you think God stays in heaven?
Jess, did you just quote
Spike
Kids 2?
Do you think God stays in heaven because he's ashamed of what he's made?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So back to our discussion.
Mr.
Yeah. So he also not only that, but like when we're talking about the end, he's literally just like, okay, kids, how are we gonna beat this guy that's trying to take over the world and kill all of us? I'm not gonna do anything. You guys do it. Oh, you're gonna go run out and try something? Go for it. Like what?
That
the
was weird.
fuck?
Like that's the part of the movie where I go, oh, you've lost me.
No, and then when Max is just like, oh, Marissa, you have to, you have to do it, and he's just like, well, not my daughter, and it's like, well, apparently you were fine with everyone else dying.
There's something real disturbing, because it's like Llama Girl, wig, she can do that, but there's something real disturbing about watching Shark Boy become Shark Boy.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I'm watching a bit like a horror film, and he's like, he grew gills and a fin, and then his fin is like human flesh.
Ugh.
Wait, what?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it was just Sinead. I was gonna say something.
I was just going to make fun of his hair.
Oh my god, no, okay, because I'm not even kidding. I don't think that was like a production design, like hair and makeup choice.
like,
that
I
was
like my hair
Taylor.
like this?
No, that was Taylor Lautner's hairstyle. The entire time, like
That's
in the
how early 2000s
no, yeah, in
hair
the in the 2000s, that was Taylor Lautner's hair. That was his hair. Like, I don't think that was like a stylistic choice by the costumer and hair and makeup people. I think that was literally like he came in. They're
That's
like, I guess we'll just leave it like that.
They're like, shit, it's fine.
Now I know you guys wanted specifically to talk about like the dream song, right?
Get ready to shake it, girls.
Everybody better be
I'm sorry.
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream and get us out. Dream, 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 dream. Hit the hay, fast asleep, dream a dream, you little bleep. Dream, 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 dream.
Oh, it really becomes a banger right here.
Let's go start dancing now.
He's gonna pop off. He's gonna pop off.
Most of them
relax, lay about, or my fist will put you out. Dream, 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 dream. Take your time, puppy, well, there's darkness in the air. Dream, 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 dream.
Dream about me next, Max. I need to know who I am.
Ew, Lava Girl.
You guys, they're children.
I know, but I don't
Dream
like the
of me
way
as
it's
something
said.
good.
It's weird.
It's like in Casper, you know, when he's like, can I keep you?
Step right up. Glass of water, here's enough.
That was for the 3D bit.
He's having a nightmare. Wake up, Max, wake up. Stop
Oh,
no. You're giving him nightmares.
How rude! Like, he is trying, bitch.
No, he's
okay.
not. He's throwing water on him. Like,
I just like. I love.
Girls to be 3D.
Well, so I like, yeah. So that was absolutely iconic. It became like an absolute banger. Would listen to that as a lullaby. Will absolutely play that to my to not my children because I won't have children, but my sister's children.
Were lullabies even like real? Like, did your parents ever like sit you down at night?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look at her face. She's like, what? Well, actually, so on the note of like our sound bites and stuff, I have one sound bite specifically that I wanted to bring out because like this was like I hadn't seen this movie in like 15 years. Let's be real. So like until basically it came out back in the day. But there's one thing that I always remembered about it, and it was obviously because like everyone was like, oh, like Shark Boy and Llama Girl should get together. So like obviously they get together at the end, right? But like it was like the fact that like, you know, it's when she like kisses him on the cheek, and like I could not with his reaction to it.
What was his reaction?
Thanks for saving me. Ouch.
Why is he saying? Why is he saying ouch? How did she hurt him?
Because she's lava and he's water, so he burned her. She burned him.
Wait,
it's just the way he says it. That
how did they?
I know, right?
They have a kid though.
What's the child made out of? What?
Oh,
metal?
We will have questions.
Well, because also like at the end, yeah, like when he tries to put his arm over her shoulders, but he gets burned, and so they just touch fingers. They're holding fingers as they walk on the beach. That was cute, but it's also like they have a child.
I'm not going to say what I'm going to say.
And they just ice skate on Lava Girl's body.
What? Oh yeah.
It's like a Rogue from X-Men situation. It's like they're implying that she does do stuff, but like how?
Don't think about it though. Don't think about it though.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just don't think about it. It's fine. You know what? It's a children's movie.
She don't want us to think about it.
The stork brought.
I'm talking about for the sequel here. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, the sequel's gonna be like also gonna be a child's movie.
Yeah, like no, it's gonna be like a dark, like Parasite-esque.
Ooh.
Yeah,
drama.
like Riverdale.
Ooh.
It's like, oh my god.
No, not like Riverdale. Stop it.
All right. Well, so does anyone have any other points about the story?
No.
So, okay. So one last thing that I kind of really want to say about the story specifically is just that, I mean, it's kind of like how we were talking about, like, you know, like in how I was talking about in The Pacifier, when we were talking about The Pacifier, there's just so many things that are just so delightfully ridiculous. Because, and I mean, it makes sense because it came from Robert Rodriguez's son. And, like, but I just, like, it makes such a good, like, children's movie. Because I know it didn't do really well at the box office, apparently. But, like, I think it really is, like, just a really great classic children's movie. Because it's colorful. There's a lot of things happening. Yeah. There's a lot of, like, you know, classic, like, a child's fantasy type thing. Because it is a dream world. Like, you know, with the giant, like, banana split and the, you know, like, all of that. Like, I think it's really, like, it's just very sweet. And I like that, you know, I'm sure that, like, the story that Racer Mix came up with wasn't actually the full narrative. They had to kind of, like, you know, make it into a narrative. And I think they did a really good job of keeping the, like, spirit of childlike, you know, dream fantasy alive. But does anyone have anything else on story?
No. I don't really have anything on production, to be honest.
Well, I don't necessarily have that much on production either. The one thing that I will say, I mean, this is just the smallest note, but it comes from the fact that I'm an editor. There's one, because, like, not to say that it's, like, you know, bad, like, cinema, because it's not bad cinematography and it's also not bad editing, but it's also, like, not spectacular either. It's very average. Yeah. Like, it's just very, like, you know, it's there.
It's Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
One thing that I will note, though, is there is a bad cut that I noticed, like, that kind of, like, I mean, like I said, it's because I'm an editor that, like, I pinpointed it immediately. Like, when it happened, I was like, oh, that was a bad cut. But it's when they're falling, like, Minus and Max in their final battle are, like, falling, or Minus is falling and Max goes to, like, grab him or whatever. Instead of cutting to a different angle or whatever, it was, like, there was, like, a close-up angle or, like, I'm not entirely sure what the angle was, but it was, like, showing them falling, and then it cuts to another shot of them falling from a very similar angle, which is, like, textbook. You shouldn't do that when you're cutting between shots. And I was like, I mean, I don't know if it was just that they were running out of footage or they didn't have anything to cut in between for those two shots, but that was, like, the second shot was how they were going to get them down onto the, like, you know, giant bed that they were supposed to be on. But, like, yeah, I just noticed that was, like, a tiny little technical thing that I, like, had noticed. Well, so then does anyone have anything else to say?
No, honestly, I can't think of anything. Not even tripping.
I think it's actually also, I mean, like, let's not say that the acting in this film was superb.
Oh, no, it's terrible. It's kids acting.
Right. But, like,
this is before
like, honestly, more power to them, though, because, like, 95% of this film was filmed on a green screen.
Yeah, fair play.
That's tricky.
So they had no reference. They had no references. So.
How would you rate it, lads?
Honestly, like, a solid, like, 7 out of 10.
Yeah. For nostalgic reasons, I would say the same. Like, it's more so just because I have a good giggle. But it's not, like, a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah. Well, because, like, I don't think that my rating comes from the fact that, like, because I think I do 7 out of 10 also, like, even without the nostalgia. Like, I feel like it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a limb because I didn't watch Spy Kids until I was about 12 or 13. I didn't watch before that. So I don't have as much nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it's not very good. It's funny at some parts, but it's not very good. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Fair enough.
All right. Yeah, Jess?
10. It's a 10, and I love it, and it's 10. All Spy Kids movies, 10. This movie, 10. Anything that comes from the Rodriguez family, 10.
I love Robert Rodriguez, let's be real. Like, Robert Rodriguez is...
I love all the Spy Kids movies. I had them all on DVD. I had this on DVD. The scratch and sniff one.
Did you have the one where you got 3D glasses?
Yeah, and you scratch and sniff it.
I had that too. Didn't it feel so cool?
Yeah, I loved it. It was my life.
Well, so let's go ahead and close out because we've been going forever. So let's what has everyone been watching recently? It's been quite a while since we've recorded, so I expect people to have some interesting answers.
I got some nice.
Go for it.
It's a movie called Cold War. It's a Polish movie, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
It's really good. It's in black and white, and the cinematography is amazing. Like, that's most of the hype was about the cinematography and the music in it.
Nice.
That's so cute.
All right. Well, I am still watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because it's still going. I have now, however, moved on to the reboot. Like they, you know how they, well, because like I was like from last time I was watching like the ones that were in like the early 2000s, you know, like that they did, and then now I've moved on to the reboot that they have with Aisha Tyler. But anyway, Kate, what have you been watching?
I have been struggling to find good TV shows to watch lately because I don't know. I feel like everything that's come out, I've binged it in like 2 days. So I've kind of just gone back to watching movies that I've already watched, and basically like recently in college we had to watch a scene from a movie called Legend, which me and my mom adore this movie.
Not
like
again.
we adore it. Like Jess, you know, it's worshipped in. Just watch it. In my dreams, maybe one day there could be an episode on it because it's amazing. It is. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it because if I don't stop, I'll literally just say the whole thing. So, it's
you
brilliant.
guys stop.
We're in sync.
Anyway, okay, so Jess, what have you been watching?
Me and Kate watched. Was it the trial of the Chicago 7?
That's so good.
It was everything. I don't know, it's getting really bad ratings.
Really?
Don't know how. It is.
Why?
I went onto like Letterboxd and like a lot of people were like,
the pacing is weird, I guess, but it's enjoyable. It's
amazing.
so enjoyable. Oh my god.
Sasha's in it. Eddie Redmayne's in it.
And my two
A lot
favorite
of famous
Les
people are in
Bitches.
The Les Mis bitches are in the crib.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is here.
I felt emotions. I cried. I went through it. It's funny. It's sad. Eddie Redmayne should not be English. An American accent suits that boy so much better. Can't explain it. Anyway, beautiful. Chef's kiss to that movie.
All right.
Bye, guys.
We've had a lot of fun today, so we're gonna head on out. Everyone get ready, because in 2 weeks we got some fun shit coming at you.
Please come save us.
I'm pumped. All right.
Please.
So thanks for listening. Kate, do you want to plug your social media?
Yeah, please. So my Instagram is Strawberry Stripe. That's STRAWBERYSTRIPE.
Sexy.
IPE. There's an E at the end. There's an E at the end.
Oh my god, you know what that reminds me of? Is in Dodgeball when he's like, I'm White Goodman. WHIT. E.
Yeah, there's an E there.
I love it.
It's great. I'm trying to post more. I have so much unposted stuff that I need to post. So
get on it, girl.
Please.
Yeah, go follow Kate on Instagram. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The Movie Rats, and we're on Twitter at Movie Rats Pod. You can also visit us on our website, www.themovierats.com.
And the Movie Rats OnlyFans.
Also, if you're listening
sexy
to
drawings
this,
of rats.
Also, if you're listening to this
Put
on
that out.
Spotify, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. We do post all of our episodes as video podcasts, and you can go and subscribe.
They're
we have some
fucking
fun
funny.
extra
They're
content.
edited. Look at them.
We have some fun extra content on the videos, and we do also post extra videos and bonus features on that as well. So, bonus features, bonus material. So, thanks for listening, and tune in in 2 weeks.
Thank you,
for
baby.
season 2 finale.
For more content, you can find us on social media at The Movie Rats and online at themovierats.com.
New episodes up every other Sunday on Spotify.
The Movie Rats is produced by Dirty Bird Productions, as well as Adam Carr, Sinead Barrell, Jess Boylan, and Cassie Egger. Art by Kate Doyle, and music by Sinead Barrell.
Thank you for listening.